Yeah, I'm still processing all of this, and obviously it's moving very quickly, and I'm still trying to digest the fact that he's actually dead, that he was assassinated, murdered for speaking. Yeah, yesterday, sure, I was, yeah, true crime shit, whatever. And then I couldn't believe it. But we still don't know who. We don't know who, and we don't know why. There's been a lot of, like, this, it's difficult, okay, because on the right, we're kind of like trying to absorb and process it, and it's like, it's Charlie Kirk, right? And like, he's such a good guy, and so we're just, but then at the same time, like MSNBC and CNN and their coverage, MSNBC has already had to issue an apology. It's that whole thing where there's like two realities, you know, there's two realities of what's going on here. On one hand, you've got people who are like, what did he do? Like, why did this happen? Like, you know, because of speech, and not even like, I mean, and this is the thing, right? If you listen to CNN or MSNBC and they're calling him like divisive and saying that he has like hate speech or something. Well, if the Bible is hate speech, if someone trying to respectfully put their point of view across and just have a debate, it's not even like a disagreement with someone. It's like, and I remember, I mean, okay, point. Prove me wrong. That's the name of the things he used to do at the campuses, but it was just open up debate. And this is the thing, and this is what's so hard, right? When you listen to the CNN coverage and the MSNBC, and they're calling him divisive and they're talking about hate speech, but then you listen to people on the right, or, you know, if you ever listen to Charlie yourself or witness these events and stuff, the Turning Point USA, or, you know, ever listen to him speak and stuff like that, like, he's not that guy. He's not about clickbait and sensationalization and stuff. He just, like, he had so much integrity and sincerity, and like, just a good guy. And this is it, like, when you listen to like Megyn Kelly or Vivek, or Chris Cuomo, or Trump, or, you know, other people like Patrick Bet-David, and it cuts deep. Like, to wake up this morning and then to see the stuff about MSNBC and CNN and their coverage, and then, like, don't go to their channels and look at their comments, because their comments are, and then it's like, you can see the kind of insanity in these people where they kind of think, like, you know, like, oh, well, he was pro the Second Amendment, so, you know, he said Americans should have guns, and now he's died. Like, it's just, yeah, the Second Amendment is not about arming people so they can go and shoot people they disagree with. That's not what the Second Amendment is about. That's not what it's for. But probably at this point, LFR is probably like I'm leaning into Charlie and how he would have reacted or how he would have responded. And this is the absurdity, right? Because if the right wing, if the Republicans are the ones that are all pro Second Amendment and we're the ones with the guns, why are people... I don't see anyone taking shots at Democrats. You know, Trump was nearly assassinated. Corey Comptoir was killed. 2 other people were seriously injured last year in Butler, Pennsylvania, you know, and now this with Charlie. But why would anyone think that Charlie was so... I think, yeah, I mean, okay, and we're not going to... I'm leaning into how Charlie would have. But if you think this is going to make people be silent, I think you're very, very wrong. And you probably have just given birth to 100, 1,000 more Charlie Kirks. Because, and if you want to believe the mainstream media and their stuff, their lies, if you want to get caught up in that TDS madness, but this was just a man with good moral values, good Christian beliefs, a belief in God, a belief in other people. It was the best of us. This isn't going to make people shut up. This is going to make people... But we're not going to go pick up guns. I promise you that. That's not what's going to happen. And it won't be about vengeance and retribution. It won't be that. It will be... Yeah, you've made him... Oh dear. You've made him a martyr. And that's it now. You're just going to have more people being brave and just speaking. That's it. That's all they're going to do. They're just going to speak. And they're going to talk about the Bible. They're going to talk about God. They're going to... And it's not... They'll still be respectful. They'll still... Yeah, I know some of these commentators are saying, oh, Democrats are evil. I'm not saying that Democrats are evil, and we don't need to do that. We don't need to take that. You just go, it's like Charlie said, right? As long as you're speaking from truth, but then also with love and kindness and respect, then why should you ever be afraid? And if that's what it takes, is just, like 100, 1,000 more people to stand up, and because there's no hate in it. A lot of it, there's no hate. Again, I don't think the violence is coming from the right. I don't think the violence is coming from these people. And I'm not trying to do a blame game here. I'm just saying that maybe the mainstream media is putting the fear of God into people about President Trump and the people who support Trump. And they're distorting the truth. And they're telling... I don't want to say they're telling lies, but it's a misrepresentation. It's not true. It's false. This is... And if you look at the kind of tributes that Charlie Kirk is getting, you'll understand that he was just a really good guy who believed in God, Christian values, in America, free speech. He just talked. And respectfully, not, mentioned a few people who are controversial and, you know, clickbait, and Charlie wasn't about that. Charlie wasn't like that. Anyway. Yeah, it's a rough day. It's a lot to digest. And it's really hard to, I mean, MSNBC have already had to issue an apology. And I've heard the same rhetoric from CNN. And it's false. I think it's just false. And I think you can tell that because of, if you went to one of those events, it's like what they used to say about Trump, you know, but if you go to a MAGA rallies aren't full of hate and stuff. It's like people you want to go and go to the other side of the street where the protesters are. That's a different story. But if you go to, it's not like this, and I think the media is, but just don't, I mean, what am I trying to say? Yeah, I'm trying to say I think the media is yeah, they're culpable in this to an extent, I think. Okay, regardless of the stuff with Trump, the stuff now, Charlie Kirk, that I think the media is culpable in this. CNN and MSNBC, yeah, 100%. They're feeding this TDS in the American people. Okay, there you go, I've said it. To the point where you think it's okay to shoot somebody dead, a father, a 31-year-old male, and he's never done any harm to anyone. And I'll have to go and look at like his events and stuff, any arrests or I don't think there's ever been any issues at any of his events. Turning Point US, I mean, sure, like, but because people disagree with him. Like, you really need to check yourselves, okay? This is really fucking hard. 31-year-old man, father, husband, you know. Because you didn't like what he said. Just check yourselves, you know. Check yourselves.